We're good?
Whenever you guys are ready. Give me a countdown when you guys are ready.
So, are we supposed to do the countdown ourselves, or?
Are we doing the countdown ourselves?
Yes. So when we start the race. All right.
Okay. Hey, I think try listening to see. Can you hear your game audio? Or? I don't know if I hear mine or yours.
I believe we are hearing yours, BluntBunny.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hearing yours.
Just making sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
It's gonna be weird without headphones, but yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Okay,
It's fine.
okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, so you guys give me the countdown to start the race.
What? Sorry.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Give me the countdown.
Oh, okay. What? Countdown.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck.
Yep, good luck, man.
Okay, so this is Donkey Kong Country 3. It's the first trick right here is called Wrinkly Skip. We both skip the wrinkly text, so we don't have to see the cutscene. Then here we're gonna mash as fast as we can.
Wrinkly skip immediately into the funky mash. Just saying what's up to the fam. Oh, dude, you could totally see my funky mesh.
I know.
The superior mesh.
Otto has a much better funky mash than me.
So basic mechanics of this game, it's all about rolling to gain speed, jumping to cancel your rolls, and just doing that as much as you can throughout the levels.
Yeah, rolling saves about 10 frames if you maximize it.
But in the first couple of worlds, every stage that you see has a warp barrel, like you saw in the first stage, so we're pretty much just skipping through these first couple worlds.
Nice tie. I gained some time on
I'm a little ahead.
You might notice that we're playing on the Japanese version. The Japanese version was recently found as the faster version because of a trick that was found where you can skip one of the bosses using a frame-perfect pause, which you'll see in World 5.
Very cool trick. I'm a little behind. I was just splashing around, having fun in the water for a minute.
It's okay. You'll make it up somewhere, I'm sure.
World 1 goes by pretty fast. I'm trying to enjoy myself while it lasts.
Basically, the only optimization you're going to see here is just teaming up as early as possible and throwing as early as possible into these warp barrels. And then first boss coming up here is Belcha. He's pretty easy, but you don't want to miss one of the throws or it's going to cost an extra cycle. You'll see here.
Yeah, optimally it should take two bugs in the mouth, but if you mess one up, you have to do at least 2 more to get them. The second one can be kind of tricky. Alright, got it.
And then here, to save the most time, go grab the left side of the coin. So that's World 1. We'll be doing a lot of the same in World 2 here.
Yeah. First couple worlds, not too interesting. Not very much movement going on. Oh, this stage is actually kind of long for a first couple world stage.
Yeah, this is actually the most interesting one out of all of them.
That stage can actually be really bad if you mess it up, because then you can't get the warp barrel and you'll have to take the death.
It is a scary stage to lose a Kong on early on.
But it's not too hard, so you don't usually see that kind of thing happen.
We got one more warp barrel stage coming up here, and then another boss, which is notorious for killing a lot of runs early on.
Yeah, it's probably the first real reset point in the run.
That was pretty textbook there. Nice, dude.
Woo, almost missed that last one. I would have had to wait for a pretty long cycle there. Say peace to our boy Eric. Move on to some real stages. Well, there's like one real stage, and then we get into a couple auto scrollers.
Yeah, the start of this game is actually like really slow. You got the warp barrel stages, then you got one platformer, and then you got two auto scrollers right after. And then after that, there's a lot of interesting platforming stages. Oh,
Some hog tech.
we both like bumped the boat. Yeah. The boat's actually deceptively hard to drive.
It's probably the trickiest boating you have to do, honestly.
So you're going to be seeing a lot of damage boosting throughout the game here. The first one's coming up here right at the end. Saves a few seconds to intentionally take damage. That last section's a little scary. Ooh, I can hear myself.
All right, it should be a tied race all the way up until like the end of World 3 at this point.
Yeah.
All right, with this pace.
So now we got the first auto scroller here. In this stage, it doesn't look like much is going on, but you're gonna see me and Otto both like jumping on these rails here. It's giving us a slight speed boost.
Yeah, and it's not just any old rail that does it too. There's like specific spots where you drop down and it gives you a speed boost.
We won't be grabbing Kitty here either. It's actually just slightly slower to do that because we're gonna need a solo Kong for the fourth stage in this world. I think I missed the boost.
I think I might have too, actually.
Yeah,
that last one is like pretty easy to space out because you don't do one for kind of a long time before it.
The main focus is just to not die on the stage, if possible.
Yeah, it's not too hard, but it's pretty easy to space like one part and just die, especially since you're solo Dixie. It can really
actually
mess you up.
Looks like you caught up because of that.
Oh.
I'm thinking. So the speed boost is slightly imperative.
This is probably the longest auto scroller in the game.
Besides maybe burn your rope. I think it's a little
Oh,
longer than
yeah. Take that back. That one's kind of nice, though, because it's late in the run, and you kind of need a break at that point.
Okay, so both me and Otto are going to be skipping killing as many rats as possible on this stage to save some frames. Killing each frame will cause 2 frames of lag. Or killing each rat. Did I say frame? So killing each rat will cause 2 frames of lag. So overall, you save about a quarter second.
Which doesn't sound like much, but for the early game, there's not too much to optimize, so it really adds up.
Yeah, there's not really much you can do in a horizontal or vertical auto scroller.
Are you going to be going for the fast ending here?
I don't think so. Only because I use an audio cue for that too. I don't think I'll be able to hear it.
I only ever go for that, so I'm going to have to go for it, whether I like it or not.
That's fine. So the rat I just killed there, you can actually skip him, but it's definitely not worth it.
So here we're going to skip Kiddy Kong again, because like we said, we don't want him in the next level. So you just climb the tree faster than the auto-scroller can chase you up there and go past the barrel before it spawns.
Okay, so the rat's coming up now. You're gonna see Otto do it. I'm probably gonna just skip out on that.
Oh, yeah.
That does slightly make a difference there, because he did finish the stage slightly before me. We
Yeah,
entered
because
it
you
at
can
about the same
you can
time.
keep climbing the tree even though you can't see what's going on. So as long as you have the muscle memory for it, you can still keep climbing up there and do it. But you still have to wait for the flagpole to spawn. Oh god.
That's
I was in a weird spot because I couldn't tell if I would still be fast enough to go for the regular tech there or not. So I went for the safe one, but it turned out I was fast enough to actually make it.
yeah. If you make a slight error in movement there, it's really easy to die.
You just appear where the barrel is right as it spawns, and it just gets you.
So in this stage, we're going to stay the solo Kong. As I was mentioning earlier, when you jump into these barrels into this stage, it actually has to load both Kongs if you have 2 Kongs. So it's about a half second lost for each barrel in this stage. Oh, nice roll. So, I guess this game is notorious for its, like, gimmicks. So the first gimmick you're going to see here is the gravity is very low here. And it's very imperative that you don't make, like, any major mistakes, because they cost you about twice as much time as they normally would. Again, we're staying solo Dixie, mainly because when you grab a Kong normally, the game freezes for almost a second, but when you're an animal, there's no freeze frames, so I just got my Kong back there.
So as long as you don't die before you get there, saves frames.
Alright, so Parrot's hitbox is a bit deceptive here, so I can actually squeeze through these bees without taking damage, and then I'm going to be doing the same thing here with a setup. Can't really tell. There we go. That was really slow, but it's almost worth setting that up versus losing a Kong there, because it makes the ending very slow, which you'll see why.
Alright, so you'll see why you really want to slow down there.
Well, actually I didn't do the correct tech.
Doesn't really change anything about this part. but up here you can't do the glide that BluntBunny probably did.
Yeah, so now he's got to jump through these bees.
He's got to jump
very
through them one at a time with the big guy.
Okay, so this is Chaos. If you've ever seen a speedrun of this game on the US version, you can actually cheese this boss by doing an infinite team throw. But on the Japanese version, that glitch doesn't exist. Well, the glitch exists, but you can't actually bounce off the top of his head on the J version. So, give me 1 second. I'm gonna set up this deboost here. Okay. So basically in the J version, you have to fight him, but the only tech there is really trying to spawn the blades on the same side, except for this part here. So on the 5th and 6th hits, which I'm about to do now, you're gonna see me like forcibly spawning the blades on my side.
It takes some pretty risky positioning to not get burned by Chaos and not take a laser to the head.
I kind of like bailed out of that because I was really close to the flame there.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna go for it.
So I bailed out of that because you could die there. Now I can't get the 6 cycle blade, which is fine. I'll just play it safe. But ideally, you would want them to spawn on the same side to save about a second. Okay, so that's World 3. The next world here is actually much more relaxed, I guess.
Yeah, not too many risky areas you can die except for the 3rd level in the world.
Yeah. I think the intended world order is actually, I think you actually play this one first. But in the speedrun you do it the other way around, which is fine because the harder stages are better to do earlier.
Alright, let's see if I can do some sick swimming movement to catch up with Blunt over here. So far, so good.
Yeah, the only optimization in this stage is not bumping into any corners.
Making sure you have a little bit of momentum going through each corner as well.
Yeah.
Rather than like hugging the corner and then starting your momentum right as you leave it.
Yeah, exactly. You want to try to keep your speed through most of the stage here.
You pretty much do that for every little corner in the stage, and it really adds up.
Yeah. Swimming, it seems to be more noticeable when you bump into stuff. That's actually not too bad.
Alright, this next level we're doing is probably the freest level in World 4.
Yeah.
Except one jump at the end is very precise. But it's usually not too costly if you mess it up, so overall, pretty free stage.
Actually forgot where I was on the stage there for a second.
And there's going to be a lot of damage boosting, intentionally taking damage. Oh! So we can kind of skip some of these barrels on our way up.
There's not too much going on in this stage other than damage boosting, but like Otto was saying at the end, there's a roll that we're gonna have to do to avoid taking damage. Nice. Okay, so that roll's a bit trickier than it looks. Alright, so this next stage here, you have to stay solo Dixie, mainly because of lag. Having Kitty on this stage will cause a whole ton of lag. It's a pretty scary stage. Sure. One hit and you're dead.
Alright, cool. Got the roll.
Nice.
Yeah, like we were saying, this is the one stage that can really get you in this world. There's some cool tech at the end of it. Depending on your movement, you can set up so the fish won't chase you fast enough in the water. So you can actually go into the water.
And I believe that, I don't know how much time that actually saves, but it just looks cool. Okay, so now we're in another waterfall stage here. It's kind of similar to the one we just saw. There's some damage boosting at the end here. You don't want to get that elephant either. It's a bit slow.
It's definitely a reset if you hit the elephant. No matter how sick your elephant strats are.
There's a damage boost here. I'm gonna go for. Okay. Sometimes that can be a bit tricky for me. That saves a couple seconds getting over the barrel there. Alright, so the gimmick in this stage is there's a fish that's following me around here.
Ooh, barely got that
And he
damage
turns
boost.
different colors. Depending on what color he is how hungry he is. So right now he's blue, which is good.
And sometimes the fish can actually like disappear for periods of time and come back
Yes.
red and just get you.
Yeah,
But it's all based on your movement. So if you did that, it's probably your fault.
yeah. A lot of times people will get upset when the fish kind of just takes off and does its own thing. But it's almost always because of movement.
There, he almost did it to me just now.
Okay. Yeah, so it says he doesn't want to eat that fish. He's kind of a jerk. And then once the fish is blue here, you can kind of just sail through the rest of the stage without any worry. He's not going to bite you or anything. There's not much that can happen. Alright, so I think everybody's childhood was a bit frightened by this boss. He does look pretty creepy. He's actually not too hard to defeat. All you gotta do is just line up properly and just shoot his eyes.
I pretty much haven't had to explain anything because Blunt is always like 15 seconds ahead of me, explaining the level before I get there.
Oh man, I almost missed the cycle there. Sorry, Void.
You do the 5 shots?
I always do. It's like my signature.
It's only on the last one too, huh? Alright, I'm gonna swag on this derp face real quick, right as waves.
Oh yeah, you're right in the waves. That should be right in the waves, but. So now, after getting to 2 skis here, Funky's gonna give us our next boat upgrade, so we can access the rest of the map.
See if I can get some sick boating here. Oh no! Oh, snuck right in. What's up, Funky?
Okay, so this stage is actually a huge run killer. So I'm gonna be taking Kitty, and that's not something I normally would do. Again, this stage has barrels where both Kongs have to be loaded into it for it to shoot, so I'm taking Kitty for safety because it's easy to drop inputs on these ropes.
And it's definitely the coolest stage in terms of how it looks when it's done correctly.
Yep.
Like Blunt said, we don't normally take Kitty for the ride, but just this once.
You can see just right there like how long it's taken to shoot out both Kongs. Oh. I instinctively went for the DK barrel there. I already had a Kong. Played it a little safe there. And okay, so we're on to another auto-scroller here. Again, there's not too much going on aside from some minor optimizations from jumping down slopes, not jumping on houses to save a few frames.
I'm still not quite sure what the most optimal route for this stage is. I totally just like space what was going on there.
This is not the most interesting stage to play or practice. As long as you don't die, that's all that matters. As long as you know the general stuff about slopes. This is barrel drop bounce. This stage is actually, you're not going to be seeing much of it, because I'm going to be skipping most of it, like right here. I'm going to team up, skip one of the sections.
Switch.
Okay, we're going to do another team up here.
And this stage is notorious for having the hardest trick in the entire game.
Yeah.
There are many hard tricks in the game, but this trick just takes the cake.
Yeah, this is like right there, what I just did, that is the hardest trick ever. But if you practice, you can get it down.
You too can do the trick.
You too can handle this game.
Alright, wish me luck, here I go.
I believe in you, man. What a god.
It's a doozy.
Alright, so, Crack Shot Croc. Basically the Web Woods of DKC3. You see a lot of damage boosting going on. Definitely not as scary as Web Woods, but definitely the same feeling, damage boosting stuff.
Oh, made it. Spider looking a little confused up there at the top.
That last section's a bit sketch, but it's important to maintain the correct Kong order because you need Dixie for the next stage solo for the same reasons as 4-3 because there's a lot of lag. Okay, so coming up after this is one of the most annoying parts of the run. It can kill your run easily because it's a frame-perfect trick. We're going to be trying to skip the boss by intentionally taking a death and pausing on the correct frame. Doing this will send you out of the boss level as if you beat it and save about a minute if it's done first try. So it's an audio cue, so I'm gonna do my best here with how loud it is to get it. So that's one try.
I have a couple
All right,
donations.
now here's my chance to catch up, because there's no telling how many tries it's going to take each of us to get this trick.
Good luck.
You too, man. Hopefully we're not here all day.
If the person on the couch would like to pass on this information, I have a couple donations to read.
I can't even hear it.
I have a $20 donation from Incredidong. Here's a little something for the keys.
This is really hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my headset actually.
And a $20 donation from Almost Ham.
Turn it up a bit. It sucks because we're like almost in sync, so yours is kind of throwing me off too.
I know. I'll turn mine down. It's really hard to hear.
Shit. Cool trick. Very cool trick. This trick is the reason a lot of people don't want to run this game anymore, because you really have to grind it out.
Dude, you want to fight him?
If we both fail this next one, I don't remember the fight very well, but we could.
Yeah.
You want to fight him?
We have to. I can't hear him.
All right, we're just gonna fight him because this could take all day.
I kind of forgot how to fight him too.
All right. We both haven't actually had to fight the boss in forever, so we're just gonna wing it.
So basically what can happen there is you can skip this fight if you press it on the right frame, but it's just so loud, it's really hard to hear the cue, and then with auto going forward at the same time as me, it's just not possible. Oh, I forgot about this phase. Void's probably actually laughing at me.
Alright, where's he going?
Probably should have practiced this fight, honestly. I didn't even think about it.
Is that it? Okay. Just like the good old days.
Alright.
Alright,
So now we're tied,
Now we got an
'cause-
even race again. Now that that's over with.
It's honestly better. So now we're tied up, so it's cool.
I got both Kongs. I was about to go grab the barrel out of habit. Because normally you would enter this stage with just one Kong, because you sacrifice one to the snowman. I think we've both sacrificed enough Kongs to the snowman at this point, though.
So in this stage, we're actually taking intentional damage boost. And then you could see, like, the collisions on the wall are pretty deceptive. You can actually sneak past a lot of these bees. Like right here. Well, that was close. I almost actually died.
Let's see if I can squeeze in between the bees real quick right here. Oh, got it. Gotta just slide right in.
That was sketchy. I'm actually gonna wait for that guy. I wasn't sure.
Did you go for the bounce on the copter?
I was going to, but like I bonked the wall, so I
Oh,
lost a lot of
yeah,
my
yeah.
speed.
I
So
was scared. I wasn't sure which Kong I was gonna be either.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, if you do the blink skip too many times, you forget which Kong order you have.
Yeah.
And if you're Kitty, it's a lot riskier going for the jump on the guy's head at the end. Alright.
So burn your rope update.
Burn your rope update.
This run actually isn't too bad, but Bleak decided to just take our souls. So
That's how it goes. Other than the death in, I forget, was it 1-4 that I took? It's been a pretty
3-4.
decent run.
is it 3-4? Yeah.
But Bleak, he's the one who decides if you have a decent run or not nowadays.
Yeah. It was weird because me and him both practiced this in the practice room quite a bit, and we were getting it like first and second try a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it was particularly hard since our audio is really closely synced.
Yeah.
Because it's not on beat that you listen for the audio cue. So you really have to pinpoint where it is and feel the frame. So, some Johns right there.
So this stage doesn't really have any optimization, again, because it's a vertical auto-scroller.
It's a nice break in the run. If you do hit the blink skip on first or second try and you're on a good run, it's a nice place to relax and reflect on what's to come.
You kind of get to, like, I guess, analyze your run and look back on it and then just think about what you got coming up. Which could be a good and bad thing, I'd say.
And this song is a banger.
Yeah.
You don't really get to hear it in 5-1. It starts up right as you finish, but
Yep.
you can let it ride out on this stage.
That is the one good thing about this stage.
Now, coming up later in this world is another frame perfect trick, but I think it's 2 frame perfect inputs back to back, but it's not nearly as difficult as the one that you saw us miserably attempting a few minutes ago.
Oh. Just blew up someone's speakers.
And that's going to be in the 5th stage in this world, so we got a couple more stages until then. Now we got a swordfish stage. Unless the brightness is turned up really high on your TV, you can't really see anything. Hopefully you guys can see what's about to go down.
Oh, no. Lost a Kong. Losing a Kong here isn't like a big deal, but it can get pretty scary if you lose them early. Which is what happened to me.
Right at the end here, I'm gonna bounce against the wall. Ooh. Just so I don't go quite as high, so I can jump onto that coin a little bit faster. At the beginning of this next stage, I'm gonna try and go for the bird skip. So wish me luck.
Nice,
Got it.
dude.
Otherwise, you have to go down in that pit and grab the parrot and ride him for like half the level.
I was gonna go for parrot skip, but I might as well just show off both routes because I've just been messing it up in practice too much.
Yeah, and it's not actually really much faster at all to go for the parrot skip.
Yeah, on the J version, it's actually about a half second faster.
See if I can hit the TAS water bounce here. No! Taking a dip. Taking 2 dips. I'm dipping. Oh, barely made that jump. It's a risky one.
I actually got the water bounce, which
Alright, so here's the frame perfect stuff I was talking about earlier. When you see him jump up a little bit like that, you're getting the first input, but not the second
I
one.
actually got it.
Ugh. God. Ugh. Got it.
Alright. That trick is kind of hard to do sometimes on cue, because,
Oh, barely
again,
missed the
it's
Huang
frame
boost.
perfect, so...
Tried to go for that to make it up, but didn't get it. But it doesn't lose too much time. And that wouldn't have totally made it up or anything, don't get me wrong.
So that's all the frame stuff we have to deal with in this run, at least.
Yeah, both of those frame perfect tricks can certainly be the run killer.
So this is Barbo's. The first phase here is RNG. As you can see, the lurchins are spawning. The closer they spawn to the middle, well, you're gonna make up some time here. So I actually lost a Kong early. So I'm actually going to do this the safer way. Normally you could take a damage boost inside him. It's pretty risky to like try to do it damageless, but I'll just play it safe so I don't die. Barbos is notorious for also killing runs.
Yeah, he's not too difficult of a boss, but if you're on a good run, you can definitely choke it.
Yeah. But normally that second section you can actually get pretty quick for that second phase.
Alright, pretty close race still, though.
Yeah. Honestly, the frame stuff separated us.
Yeah.
Everything else has been good for both of us.
Anything can happen in World 7, though.
Okay, so this is where the game actually does crank up in difficulty quite a bit.
Yeah, every stage in World 7 has some kind of weird gimmick to it, and the gimmick in this stage is just the conveyor ropes.
Okay, so I went for, it doesn't look like it, but I went for an extremely risky strat there.
Oh, you went for it?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I
go
wasn't
for
like
it.
thinking about it though, and I went for it.
All right, I'm gonna
I missed the
take
DK.
the wussy route and just kill the big guy and do it.
I like forgot to grab the DK barrel, and then like I suddenly started thinking about it and just didn't want to screw it up. The thing with this game, well, I think with other Donkey games too, is like you always want to go with your instincts and don't ever try anything that you would never normally try. Otherwise, it's usually bad news. That's a very tight hover, and I almost took damage there. Again, we're both solo Kongs again for the same reason, because there's a lot of barrels in this stage. The barrels in this stage are RNG, so you'll see
Yeah.
some of us waiting for barrels. Sometimes you'll get
That's
them
the
first
gimmick
try.
of this level in World 7 is just the RNG barrels.
Yeah. You could lose a significant amount of time on this stage just from barrels. All right, so this next stage, it's pretty scary, honestly, if you ask me. But as long as you play the same, it shouldn't be an issue. So we're gonna be.
You want to maintain a very specific movement throughout the entire
Yeah.
stage to manipulate the lightning. Otherwise, it can get pretty scary.
Ooh. It's scary when you don't take a dip in that water there. Oh no. Play it safe here. Okay. I'll wait till auto's done.
Whoa, where's the lightning? That's where the pattern can get messed up.
Yep.
It's always like right at the end
Yep.
too.
Yeah, okay, so the lightning didn't, for some reason for me, didn't spawn when it was supposed to, so it threw me off,
Yeah, that's what happened
And
to me
then-
too.
and I had to play it like super safe at the end there. The ending actually looks really good, but we both kind of like had the same problem there.
The gimmick with this level is just these alligators with the shields that'll just push you right off the stage.
It's a very annoying stage casualty, that's for sure. Alright, so the final gimmick in this stage, it looks like just a purple swimming level, but the left and right controls are reversed. So right now I'm holding right and I'm actually moving left. So
Yeah, it's not your average purple swimming level.
ooh. I don't even know what to do here. Dang. Alright, so let's try that again.
It's pretty tight to get through those dudes right at the end, but it's not really necessary because you're going to switch to Kitty here at the end anyway.
I accidentally took a death. I had Kitty for like the part where you had to get the fish.
Yeah, if you're left with solo Kitty at parts of that level, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, it's really tough. I actually got through there too.
Here we're gonna switch to Dixie because if you don't do the fight with Dixie, it's like almost impossible to do fast with Kitty. But we keep him just in case we get hit.
Oh. What the hell? Oh no, dude!
And this is the final boss of the game, by the way.
Should be okay here, hopefully.
It's all about pulling the levers, getting the barrels, and hitting him in the booty.
All right.
But there's definitely some tricks involved. Boom.
You do it, Taz? I won't put any pressure on you.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't feel like I would get it right now.
Just, I understand.
Are you going for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. It's fine though. Maybe not.
Alright, here's the final cycle right here. Just gotta hit him 3 more times.
Oh, it was. I like mixed up my cycles here.
Alright, time is coming up. Right there.
Nice, dude.
So, what part was it in the poison level that got you? Oh! That was the TAS strat that saves 5 seconds, but he just barely didn't make it onto the platform there. And
That's okay.
now finishing the boss fight is going to be extremely difficult, or just really slow.
I died in well, I took damage right around the corner, the first corner before you go into the fish. So I had Kitty, and I tried to squeeze through there with Kitty, and that just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Alright. So this this is gonna be interesting.
Are you going to try and do it the Dixie way? Wait.
Oh, I got the wrong.
Yeah, I saw that it was lower. I don't know what determines that. Sometimes you gotta go pull on the other side.
It's because on the second hit, I missed the barrel. So this is why, like, you don't really want to go for task K roll. But I figured since I was entering the fight behind
Might as
anyway.
well. I mean, you had it.
Yeah.
I was gonna go for it, but
I didn't want you.
I had no hope in my Kitty, so I thought I would just have to do the fight over and over again.
All right. Time is going to be on the coin. I don't know if you're still running it. All right, cool. All right, nice race.
Nice race, man.
Thanks.
So, Silent Wolf, your time was 52:19.
Yikes.
BluntBunny, your time was 53:55.
My God. I blame all that on Bleak, man.
Yeah. Blake still has our souls in his pocket right now.
Yeah. It was just hard. It was really hard to hear it, but it's fine. It made it more interesting, honestly.
It's kind of nice to revisit the fight again, too.
Yeah, it's been a while. Cool. That was a sick race, though. I think
It was close most of the time.
Yeah, we Yeah, it was really good. Aside from like the dumb deaths, but I mean that happens in this game.
Yeah.
So we were hoping for 49s. Honestly, I think our expectations were a bit high, but
Yeah, as soon as I felt out the situation with Blake, I was like, I don't care.
yeah, same. It's all good. Yeah, and you had like 10th try 2-1 jump too.
Dude, it was more than that.
Oh, was it more?
Like after a few tries, my hand started to ache, so I wasn't getting the plank.
Oh, okay.
So I started going for this other strat where I use both my thumbs, and I haven't done that in a while. So then I went back to the plank, and I was like, just get me
I
up there.
hate that because you
like,
start second guessing yourself.
Yeah, and once you miss it, that second frame perfect trick saves 10 seconds. So once you miss it that many times, you contemplate going for the regular route. But like nobody actually learns the regular route, so I wouldn't know what the heck I'm doing over there.
Me and Otto both came into this game, but like after that was found, so I don't think either of us learned the correct route for that stage.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to skip it.
I don't know if you guys want to wait for all these credits to play out. They go on for a long time.
Yeah, they're really long, so I understand.
Well, a big shout out to our runners. Can we get a round of applause from the crowd for them?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, and if anyone's interested in learning to speedrun a Donkey Kong Country game, you can go to dkcspeedruns.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I use the alternative URL myself.
Me too. But I was.
For those of you out there, dkcspeedruns.com. There's a nice wiki with the leaderboards and information on how to do all the strategies and anything you could possibly want.
Very, very simple game to pick up if you're new to speedrunning, that's for sure. What's that? Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.